What's cracking, YouTube? Welcome back to In Defense of New Types, the series where I justify the addition of as many new types to Pokemon as I think is completely and absolutely necessary. I know many of you have had a bunch of questions about the blood type, and we'll get there, but today we have a more pressing issue, because I realized that there is one type that absolutely has to be added to Pokemon, and I'm genuinely sure that we'll get it in Generation 10, because it only makes sense. Think about this. Even though sand is made of tiny rocks, and rocks are just big pieces of ground, rock and ground still work and make sense as separate types. But what doesn't make sense is that these are both outdoor types, and Pokemon battles are generally held indoors. See, if you drop something inside, you don't say it fell on the ground, you say you dropped it on the, see where I'm going with this? The biggest glaring deficit when it comes to the type chart is floor type. Now, don't come at me with ground and floor are the same thing. They aren't. And don't try to say that they're not separate because of functionality or the type chart or because floor type just sounds silly. Ground and floor would be different in some pretty significant ways. For example, when you pour water on dirt, it can wash the dirt away. That's why ground is weak to water. But if you put water on the floor becomes even more dangerous. Floor type would resist water, or maybe even be immune to it, which could be really good since water is a bit of an overpowered type, right? Floor would also be weak to poison because, carpet stains, and weak to fire because house fires. It would be good against ground because if cartoons have taught us anything, it's that animals that can tunnel through the ground will still be stopped by a good solid floor. Bug would be immune to floor because I have an ant problem in my house and there seems to be absolutely nothing that I can put on my floors to stop them. And maybe there could be a new floor-based terrain type called inside terrain or lounge room, where all the Pokemon have to take off their shoes, and that means they take double damage from entry hazards. So, what Pokemon should be floor type? Well, obviously Avalugg, it's basically one big floor. Graplocked also. As a Clobbopus, it's a pure fighting little punchy guy, and when it evolves, it learns Jujitsu and takes the fight to the floor. And, of course, Sunflora and Florges, it's literally in their name origin. Ideas for new floor type Pokemon could include a carpet snake, maybe a pure floor type, a flying carpet, floor and flying. The house borer could be a bug and floor type, and you could do something based on a slippery floor. That's a floor and water type, or maybe a Flornado. Let me know your floor type Pokemon ideas in the comments and tell me why you agree that floor type is the best idea for a new type that you've ever heard. Like and subscribe. Bye!